morning, world. This is Dr. Rico Short, the root canal, specialist to the stars, the grace life teacher, the inspirational motivator for you on this wonderful Wednesday. This morning, I want to talk to you guys today about comparison. See, comparison is likened to Kryptonite and Superman. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison creates a womb for jealousy to develop. And what we tend to do, we tend to compare ourselves to other people. We tend to compare what we have with other people. We can sometimes we even compare how we look or how our children look or things, man. And comparison is a thief to joy. It will rob you blind and you don't even know it. It will cause you to spend money that you don't have to impress people you don't know who don't even care about you. So comparison, man, is like a root of evil, man. Comparison basically tells God that he didn't give you enough. Even though he says in his word, like David says, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you are made in his image and his likeness. But when you compare yourself to somebody else, that's like slapping God in the face and say, hey, you did not create me like you said. Hey, I don't trust your word. So today, man, I just came to tell you, man, that we have to uproot that comparison spirit, man. Oftentimes, when we are dealing with comparison, man, we are trying to put people in positions they weren't designed to play. It's like putting Julio Jones as a linebacker. He wasn't designed and wasn't built for that position. Likewise, it's like a fish looking at a grizzly bear and trying to figure out why it can't swim. Also, it's like a grizzly bear looking at a fish and figuring why it can't climb up a tree. See, comparison will take us out of our divine destination. Comparison will lead us into a dead end. So instead of comparing yourself to somebody, man, I want to encourage you to embrace your uniqueness. Embrace how God created you, because when you embrace your uniqueness, you then embrace greatness. I'm gonna repeat that. When you embrace your uniqueness, only then you will be able to embrace greatness, because God created you to be great. Even you look at Michael Jordan, man. Michael Jordan was cut from high school basketball. One of the greatest players in the world in our history. He was cut from basketball in high school. Yet he did not quit. Yet he went on to embrace the gift that he knew that God placed inside of him. He went on to play with North Carolina, being a great player, and he went on to play with Chicago, and he has, 5 or 6 rings. But can you imagine if he would have quit because in high school he got cut? I look at myself, man. I wanted to quit. When I finished dental school, I caught hell in dental school, and I hated it. I love dentistry. I caught hell in dental school. When I got out of dental school, I practiced general dentistry, and I was happy. So I thought. And then things didn't go well with one of the gentlemen I work with my mentor, and we had some issues and some disagreements on certain things. And I had an opportunity to go back and specialize and do endodontics. And when I started that program, man, I hated it. I hated doing root canals. I'm like, man, I'm coming home. I got this migraine headache. I'm looking through a little tiny microscope to find little tiny, tubes with bacteria in them that I can barely see. And it's taken me too long to do this. And I just don't see how this is going to work out. And I remember I had a professor that told me, he said, Rico, let me tell you something, man, don't get frustrated. You have greatness inside of you. And on average, for you to see that greatness take place, you got to give yourself 3 to 5 years. And that's a word for somebody. If you're frustrated right now, if you're in a business and it's not growing, if you're in something new right now, you got to give yourself some time. You got to give yourself time to allow God to work that greatness that you have inside of you, outside of you. And you can't compare yourself with other people, what other people are doing. I remember when I was a student learning how to do root canals, man, we had professors that would sit down. Man, they wouldn't even look at the tooth. They were able to drill inside the tooth, find the canals with what we call an endo explorer. And then they say, okay, go and look inside. And they find you like, what the heck? I wanted to say the other word. How do you do that? And then immediately I want to compare myself to people like, man, there's no way I'll be able to do that. But guess what? Now that I've gotten time under my belt and I let God use me in those times when I didn't think I was going to make it, it was able to pull the greatness out of me. And now I'm one of the world's best endodontists. And I'm not saying that to be braggadocious. I'm saying that because God had already put that gift in me from the foundation of the world. See, you're not an accident. You're not even the invention of your parents, man. You are intentionally, divinely designed to make an impact in this world that it's never seen before. But you have to get out the comfort zone. You have to be able to focus on what God has given you and take your eyes off of what God has given someone else, because that's a trap, man. Comparison is a trap. Comparison, like I said before, is a breeding ground of jealousy. And it doesn't mean that somebody have more than you have. No, jealousy is a disease that keep you from enjoying the things that God has already given you. What do I mean by that, man? You can have a multi-million dollars in the bank. You can have a big home, beautiful vacation home. But if you're looking at somebody else and what they have, you're not going to be able to enjoy what God has given you. You're going to be robbed. Jealousy robs you of joy. And it starts by comparing yourself to somebody else, what they have, or guess what somebody else don't have. If what somebody else don't have make you happy, that's a problem as well. And if you have to look at somebody and you see, oh man, they don't have this or that, that makes me feel good, man, that's a problem. That's still a form of comparison. So today, on this wonderful Wednesday, man, I just want to leave you with this. Enjoy and embrace the gift that God's given you, man. God has given you the gift of time. And that's your most valuable asset. You cannot get that back. And you have to be able to enjoy every day and find good in every day, despite of what's going on in the political arena, despite what's going on outside in this world pandemic, despite what may or may not be going on in your office or in your career. You have to find goodness and greatness in the now, in the present. Today is a gift. So I'm going to encourage you today, man. If you have to take a break from Facebook or Instagram to get yourself together, do it, man. Because if not, you're going to continue to compare yourself to someone else, and it's going to end up turning into envy and jealousy, and it's going to rob you of what God has already given you, and it's going to rob you of the gift that God has already placed inside of you, your uniqueness that gets converted into greatness. And I'm not talking about just you. I'm talking about me, myself. I'm preaching to the proverbial choir. I'm talking about me too. I'm in that same position that I'm telling you about. But by the grace of God, He's going to help me, and He's going to help you move through that. so that you can fulfill the will that he has for your life and make a mark in this world that can never be erased. You got it? Love y'all, man. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. Grace life. Peace.